Do you have a concept of the fundamentals of cooking?
All I know is just make things salty and sweet and they taste good.
So, this is my opinion of recipes now. Recipes are for people that don't know the relative impact of certain ingredients to a dish. So, they need to um, do a character language versus a phonetic language for people to follow.
That's good.
So, the language of cooking is salt, fat, acid, and heat. I would say those are the four. I mean, it's based on a book. I forgot the chef. I'm not, and sorry, I'm not giving credit, but if you balance those, you'll have a good dish. Now, most things, if you mess up, if you put too much salt or you put too much sugar or whatever, or if it's too bitter or something like that, you can fix it with a different ingredient. And it's not like it's gonna make it like taste like two separate things. It will fix it. If it's bitter and you put some like sugar, most things, if it does not taste deep, like a salty dish, if you put just a little bit of sugar, like a spoonful, then it literally just balances it. Like it literally makes it like, oh, this is not just like salty anymore, even though it doesn't taste sweet. So you do not need to like follow the recipe for like, oh, it says 1.5 cups onions and 1 cup celery, so you don't need to, you make sure to like, that's like literally, you could put so much onion and celery and it won't really matter to the base of the dish. But if you put like too much like in like an Asian dish, if you put too much sesame oil, then it'll like literally just kills the dish. So like that's what I mean by like, once you start cooking, if you figure out the language of the impact of certain ingredients, you know how to come to a thing. The other language of cooking is how different cultures, they have a different procedure of like what goes first and how you cut and it's very interesting. There's a language that is the same for like most cultures across their dishes, which I find interesting too.
You want me to tell you how to cook delicious food?
Sure.
You starve the person who's going to eat the food first. This is my attitude towards food. To me, my head revolves around like, how do you throw in carrots, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, mushrooms all into one dish and make it taste good?
You make chili.
Like the game is making superfood ingredients taste good more so than create something that tastes good or something that tastes great.
I don't think that's the game because you're missing a factor, which is effort. I feel like that's an equally important part of the equation for you, because all that stuff you can make taste bomb, but in order to do that, there's like 4 steps you have to do, and you're not going to do those because otherwise then you would have bomb tasting everything. You also need to have a charcoal grill available.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And you also need to cook things like multiple states. You got to like,
that's definitely not.
yeah, it's like
You know what? The number one thing I fucking hate, right?
what?
Sauteing. I don't like the concept of like you have to separately like brown meats before you put it into the soup. It's like so much work just to have 30% better meat. Like I wish I could just like do this thing where like I have a flamethrower on one hand and then a thing on the other, and I grab the meat on with my one hand and I flamethrow the meat with the other, and then I just throw it in the pot. That sounds more like, I really think like like just having like 30 recipes, like not 30 is an exaggeration, but like let's say like 7, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like just having like a bunch of recipes and just chopping them up into small pieces and just throwing them all into one thing and like just eating that is like
Ingredients or recipes?
ingredients is like, or it's already like it's fine. Like that's it. That's 7 out of 10. That's 7 out of 10 in flavor, and then like about as good as you can get in health. Like 9 out of 10 in health. Like, what more can you ask for?
So, all right, let's just talk about it. Let's do this. This game is called How Does Jung Cook a Dish and How Does Steven Cook a Dish? And we'll just see the difference.
Sure.
How does Jung cook spaghetti?
I don't cook spaghetti.
Exactly. Okay.
What a waste of what a waste.
All right, whatever. If you're gonna cook spaghetti, how would you cook it?
I would get like mushrooms, meat. Okay,
Marinara, or
yeah. So tomato sauce is pre-made, pasta is pre-made, meat.
we're gonna go. Pick the dish. Is it meat, tomato sauce?
It would be I would fry pan meat, tomato sauce, and chopped up vegetables all in one big thing, and then that would become the new meat sauce. It would just be like how you cook chili. It was just like how I cook. Literally, that's how I cook everything. It's just,
All right,
chop it all,
let's see
everything into little
okay,
pieces, and just.
If I describe this, see if it's different or the same. If I cook spaghetti, most of the times I'm not gonna buy store bought. So I'm gonna buy a can of San Marzano tomatoes in like a 28-ounce can, and it's full tomato, like whole tomatoes that were literally in Italy. They like picked it and then they like flash boiled it and then like put it into a can, and then it's shipped over and you open it like that. That's what that is. And what I'll do is I'll put that in a mixing bowl, all the stuff out, and they're whole, right? But the thing is with tomatoes, if you cook the seeds, it becomes bitter. The seeds inside. So then what I'm going to do is those tomatoes, I'm going to open them and I'm going to strain out the seeds and remove those. So you're just left with the red parts. Now what you're going to do is, if I want to be real like legit, you're going to take that and then you're going to immersion blend it so it's all smooth. But you don't have to do that. You could leave the big tomatoes kind of crushed up chunky if you want it more rustic. Now what you do is you put I'm not going to do meat. So this dish, I'm not going to do meat. So if I'm not doing meat, I put a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Okay. So that's where I'm going to get my fat. So that's okay that it's a 1/4 cup, not like 2 tablespoons, because you're not going to put any meat. So it's to me, replacing it with olive oil fat is fine. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then I'm going to get garlic, like fresh garlic, and then I'm going to slice it very thin. So literally when it hits the oil, it's like surface area is like thin and it just hits it. And I'm going to low and slow and let that cook. Then just as that's finished, I'm going to put in a teaspoon-ish of red chili flake. Because if you put chili flake in early, it'll burn. So you put chili flake in, and then it'll make the olive oil garlic base a little spicy. I'm going to heat that up. Make sure it doesn't burn, because again, garlic, if you overcook it, it burns. Then I'm going to put in the entire tomatoes in it, and it's going to sizzle and fry the tomatoes. Then I'm going to like fold in the oil into the tomato. Okay. I cook that for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to taste it. When I taste it, it's going to be no salt in there. But so I'm going to season it with salt. All right? But I'm going to make sure it's not over salted, because salt's going to come later too with other steps of the recipe. Now, most likely it's going to taste a little sour or bitter. So I'm going to, depending on how sour or how bitter it is, I'm going to put in baking soda and most likely a teaspoon of sugar. And it's going to cut that so it doesn't taste like sour tomato. And then so I'm going to cook that. It's going to taste balanced. Then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna start the water. The water, the salt. You have to put an insane amount of salt to make it salty like the ocean. A little bit of olive oil in it, and then when you get the spaghetti, you're going to take out the entire spaghetti and you're going to twist it like this. When you twist it like this, the noodles all sort of like go like this. And then when you drop it in, it literally like fans out perfectly, and then it'll slowly just fall into it and it won't stick. Literally like 2 minutes before it's done, it's like still kind of hard, which is al dente. You're gonna take the spaghetti and put it in the sauce, and put in like an insane amount of water. Like it looks watery. You're gonna put in like almost a cup, 3/4 cup of the salt water into the thing, which is starchy. And then you're gonna turn into the tomato sauce, and you're gonna turn the tomato sauce up on high, and it's gonna start like cooking hard. And to that, you're gonna add more fat. You're gonna add a tablespoon or two of butter. Use good butter that's unsalted, and you're gonna put in a half cup of freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And then when you mix that hard over a hot flame with the pasta water, literally all the sauce gets stuck to the tomato, and it's not like a sauce over noodles. It just becomes like one dish. And because you put it in undercooked, it's like finishing the last 2 minutes in the sauce, and then the sauce absorbs it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then what you do is, I don't like serving a lot at one time, but I like just a little taste, because the second batch after it's sat for a while actually tastes different and good too. So I'll serve it, portion it, and then before you portion it, you drizzle a little more fresh olive oil that's not cooked, and then you grate more fresh cheese, and then you serve.
Wow, amazing. Is it worth it?
No, but so to me, that's not about me bragging. It's about, is that different than what you're doing? Or is it just you're being autistic? I'm being autistic. Or is it worth it? Or, it's like,
I mean, it's a variance game, right? It's like if you just use pre-made stuff and whatever, your variance is like 6 to 8. And then your variance, the way you're doing it right now, is like 3 to 9.
What do you mean 3? Wouldn't my variance be less?
No, your variance is higher because you're cooking more of the. You're creating your own meats, pasta sauce first of all, but just in general, like.
What do you mean by variance? I don't understand.
Oh, like it could come out really bad or it could come out really good.
Oh.
Yeah. Like the potential's higher. The potential on both ends are higher, right? Like if you tell me to make a spaghetti sauce
depending on who's doing it.
Yeah, with like crushed tomatoes and whatever, I'll obviously make like a 3 out of 10.
To me, it's a question of, you're playing a lot of WoW nowadays. It's like, and everyone is talking about, if you're a tank, like, oh, you need to have a defense rating. Like, that's what matters. And you need to have a slow-handed weapon because the DPS, the whatever, is based on the DPS of the weapon, right? And so it's the same thing. It's like optimization by doing, by literally focus on like things that to a normal, sane person is like insane.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I think that's kind of true. Like from the perspective of like if somebody just is looking for a 7 out of 10 meal, then you shouldn't have to go through all those steps to make a 9 out of 10 meal. But the WoW community is a community where they insist on you reaching that 9 out of 10, even though the dungeon could easily be cleared with 7 out of 10, as long as you're not a
Yeah, so what's interesting about WoW is certain builds suffice, but they insist that you maximize.
Yes, it's very like that, I feel.
But cooking, it's my standard of sufficient is higher.
Yeah, basically.
Because my taste requirement is higher.
Yeah.
And that just varies by person. But the community of WoW is like, no. I know that is
yeah, that is correct. Exactly. It was more of a game of, because they don't trust your skill level. That's the issue. If they know you're good at skill, if you have good skill level, or they know you're smart, then obviously they'll allow it. But it's more of that. They just want to, I'm going to assume this person is like 3 out of 10 in intelligence. So his gear score of 9 out of 10 will make up for it. I'm going to guarantee that. It's just that.
Okay, now when I explain how I cook pasta, what is your reaction to it?
So the way I look at like cooking, or like quote unquote like sophisticated cooking, is like, To me, it's like a question of nuance.
Mhm.
It's like putting in fresh cut garlic. Like, let's say you have two dishes, and one of you put in fresh cut garlic versus the one you didn't, right?
Okay.
I mean, garlic's a big one, but whatever. You get the feel, right?
Mhm.
Like chili. Make sure you cook the chili seeds before you put it in the pot.
Yeah.
For some shit like that.
Yep.
Cook the sesame oil before, or cook sesame seeds before you use it. Something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
It's like something that starts big and then like slowly shrinks down to small. Okay, like a graph.
Like marginal.
So like the food hits you and you're like, oh, this is good, and that's like the obvious thing that everybody notices.
Okay.
And then you go like, oh, I taste like a hint of cooked sesame seeds, and then like it slowly goes down, and then like the little nuances, like slowly like you're like filtering through like all the little nuances.
This is my opinion, but a well-cooked dish is you won't pick up on the nuance.
Okay, so it just hits you.
It's just like this is good.
The goodness hits
Why
you
is
right
this
away.
good?
Yeah, so I knew you were gonna go with that angle when I brought this concept. I get it.
Because it's the same ingredients, just timed, and it's like my loop. My skill loop is like very optimized for taste. For you, it's not about how do I make this taste as good as possible. For me, for you, I honestly think it's you don't even factor taste.
I mean, obviously I do. It's just that I don't need a fucking AAA.
No. What I'm saying is your primary factor is not taste. Your primary factor is, well, first macros, ignoring that, health, but two is ease of making it.
Of course.
So
Ease of
like
cleaning,
taste is like fourth or like third. It's like macros, ease of cooking, and then taste. So to me, if taste is the bottom, it literally means you don't care about taste. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
What?
Like, it can get worse. It can get way worse.
What do you mean?
Like, imagine a world where I just put a piece of cabbage.
Yeah, and then like a protein powder.
And like, yeah, exactly. And I just lay them out on the desk and I just eat them one by one. My carrot stick. My
But
cabbage
it's not that
patch.
far
You know what I
from
mean?
what you
Like,
do.
No, you can't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, carrot,
Yeah, if you wanna be-
whatever, chicken, you put it in.
Whatever. You get the idea. You get the concept.
The only thing I think you do is you put salt.
Well, the important part is you mix it together and you actually like cook it. But yeah, I'm just saying it can get a lot worse.
Of course, yeah.
You just get a piece of meat and eat it.
No, yeah, I know.
And then you get a bread and you'll eat it.
Let's try one more. How do you cook a steak?
Well, first of all, I hate the concept of cooking steak.
Okay.
I think like I hate how like people go, oh, the art of cooking a great steak. Oh, you gotta do. I think like people are so gay. Like to me, like whether you cook it one way or like to me, it all pretty much ends up tasting the same to me. I don't feel like whoa, like something so amazing because like I did some random shit versus some other shit. It all like kind of.
Well, can you tell the difference when I cook a steak?
I don't know. I mean, I know it tastes good, but like I don't know.
So steak, I feel like steak's a good control because very little variables you can fuck around with, but you can fuck it up a lot.
So it's
hard to mess up.
When I first started cooking steak, yeah, I like cared about shit, and I would like, oh, here's how you cook a steak. And I would like follow it and like whatever. After a while, I'm like, this is like retarded. Like just fucking cook it, like butter and then cook it and then cook it to the
Okay,
level
well, you
that
put butter
want,
in.
and then like whatever.
You put butter in.
Yeah, but even that I think is like whatever. To me, like the bigger question is like I would rather I get the concept of like having like a good piece of steak. To me, you might as well just cut the steak into small pieces and mix it up with a bunch of vegetables and stuff like that. And to me, the bigger thing about steak and meat for me is like rather than like how you cook it, it's just like, can I have some onions in the vicinity? Like it's more about just the concept of like there being onions and garlic around the vicinity or not. That's to me, that's like that's more the question. Rather than like, oh, I cooked the steak perfectly. Like, can I just have some like pieces of garlic?
So what's interesting is I feel like Asians are so poor that they just value the ingredient of meat. They almost don't. I mean, now they do, but they almost don't care how you cook it. It's almost like, oh, it's a meat dish. It has meat.
Yeah, that's generally true.
Oh, I don't. Just
Got-
eat a lot of it.
Gotta eat the rice last.
You just eat a lot of it.
You gotta
Right?
you gotta not fill your belly with rice.
But then like yeah, like non-Asian people, like you know, with from wealthy like America, right? It's like abundance. So it's like we have unlimited amounts of meat. How do you micro make it the best tasting meat? And I feel like you're influenced by like Korean.
Oh, and this is another thing. Like, I hate thick pieces of meat. I don't understand this whole thing about like people having like inch thick steaks. Like, I don't give a fuck how well you cook it. Like, it doesn't taste as good as like thinly sliced steak. At best, it should be like half the whatever, half an inch, whatever it is. Like, I hate thick slices of meat. I think it's retarded. I honestly think people just are infatuated by the concept of like a big chunk of meat. Of steak.
For steak, I
Like, am I uncultured for what I just is
No.
what I just said like an uncultured statement? Like, how
No.
dare you? Of course, a real high
No,
level
no, no,
piece
no,
of steak
no.
is a thick inch. You know.
no, no, no,
ribeye,
no. What?
whatever.
So for me, growing up, Stephen Wang. So Stephen Wang would talk about how like when I eat steak, you only salt and pepper, and you cook it on the grill,
Oh God, yeah.
and it needs to be.
We talked about this, right?
No, I don't think so.
We talked about this.
Okay, well tell what
This whole thing, like, yeah, that's like a thing too.
what.
Like, all you people out there who use this and that for steak. No. Steak and pepper. Just use steak and pepper. You want to taste the steak. Like, that's a
Yeah,
big
I
thing.
know.
Everyone says that. Everyone's
That's
constantly
why
like,
I'm. That's
you
why.
gotta just use steak and
Yeah. So when this is to empathize with what you're saying. So like when I was like heard that, I was like, I don't get it. Like Kalbi tastes like a billion times better
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Right? It took me like 15 years. And people that said that, I feel like they don't even know what a good cooked steak is. Like they just say that like a meme, like like it's just what you're supposed to say.
They're repeating what
Yeah.
the YouTuber said.
Because those are the people that would, I'm not saying Stephen Wayne would be like this, but like whatever. Like those are the people that would grill the steak and then with some salt and pepper and then take it off and then cut it and be like, it's rare. It's rare and it's just salt. You know, like that, you know? But to me, it's like, dude, that's so chewy, like, you know? But for me, it's like, it's so intrinsically tied to your process of cooking. Like the process is what matters if you're gonna make that statement of like salt and steak and that's it. And medium rare. Like to me, if you're gonna say that, it's not the ingredients that matter. It's how you cooked it. Like it's the process it took to make it taste good that matters.
Okay, so but what about this angle? Because it's not like I don't get it. So let's say you cook like a steak.
Okay.
And you have like the most delicious dipping sauce for that steak next to you.
Okay.
Okay, like whatever, right? Then the only reason you wouldn't use the sauce
It's like ego.
is because maybe that, but I would say it's because the steak's quality is something that you need to
Nah.
fully absorb.
I don't. To me, taste is taste. So, like when I cook steak, even American style, like Jess will like sometimes want to have like samjang on the side,
Yeah.
and I don't care if she eats it with samjang. That's fine. Like I don't care. It's bomb. That doesn't mean that you can mess around with not cooking the steak well.
Well, you still need to do your.
Yeah, it's like, I eat with doenjang, so I can cook it like shit. You know, I don't care if right? So for me, it's not like I only care about the taste. What it's relevant. It's things like, did you cook it so perfectly that the outside is like perfectly charred and crisp and like fatty, and like the fat pieces are all like crumpled up and like it's like a burst of juice, and then the inside is just pink. It's not like a dark pink, dark, and instead it's dark, pink, dark. Like, did you cook it that way?
Oh yeah, speaking of that, like I always found that like such a weird like counterintuitive meta. And I don't even believe in that meta. And this is the meta that I'm describing.
Okay.
When you cook a steak, you want to flip it a lot because you don't want to allow time for the heat to permeate the entirety of the steak. So you want to keep flipping it so that the outside gets hot and crispy, and then the inside doesn't get like, I don't know, too chewy or whatever.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
So you're actually now talking like a bigot, or what's the big no chefs don't cook that way. Chefs just put it one and flip it once. Like that's like a very what is it? Dogmatic. That's like the original dogmatic thing of steak. You do not flip it more than once. So why don't you get it? What do you mean? You should be able to get that because that's like the most
because if you flip it too much, then the inside doesn't get cooked, and you want the inside like reasonably cooked.
Okay. This is the thing of variance.
Wait, this is for 1-inch steaks?
3 to 9. Huh? Yeah, this is for general like an American steak.
So 1-inch steak, you want to flip it a lot.
Yes.
Then the inside doesn't get cooked. It doesn't get cooked while you're sitting there? Is that what it is? You let it sit for a long time?
Of course it cooks. What do you mean?
I don't know. For me, like, then the inside stays raw. The outside gets super burnt.
No,
and it doesn't like cook.
So you're just wrong there. You're just wrong. So if you cook a steak and leave it, and then you flip it once, and you leave it, what's going to happen is it's going to cook, and the outside, okay, if it's an inch, the top quarter inch is going to be overcooked. The bottom quarter inch is going to be overcooked. The outside will be bomb. Outside will be crispy, but the next part to the rest of the quarter inch is going to be overcooked. And then the inside is going to be like between rare and medium rare. So it's got outsides are going to overcook because it's sat there, and the inside's going to be rare. It's not going to evenly cook. But if you
don't flip it. Okay.
But if you flip it, it's going to constantly like dissipate the heat, and it's going to slowly heat the whole thing.
Okay, so you're saying flipping it actually makes the heating more even.
So you're going to keep flipping
it. Makes the cooking of the heat.
Why do you think you do
even.
rotisserie chicken? So there's a flame, and then you just constantly are like rotating it so that it evenly cooks the whole thing. It's the same concept.
I see.
But now the challenge of if you constantly flip it, the problem is you the outside doesn't get crispy because it's not sitting. So the solution to that is you flip it and on the grill, and at the end you have a butter pan, fucking hot, and you just sear the shit out of it at the end. Or you get a torch and you torch the outside, and then now the outside's crispy.
And okay, so so it's counter to you're saying by flipping it cooks it more evenly rather than the opposite.
Now
I always explain that when you flip it, you're trying to avoid cooking it evenly. It's actually the opposite. You're trying not to cook the center.
If you're flipping it,
yeah,
no.
Okay, so you're saying it's the opposite. Okay.
So now what it is chefs are trained to not do that, and there is like a goal. I haven't mastered it because it's too hard. There's like 50 factors that you have to do, but there is like let's say there's like a million outcomes of your steak. If you do the 1 and 1 flip, there's like one, like, Marvel, like, multiverse, like Iron Man, there's only one way where Iron Man sacrifices. It's like, there's like all variables that be perfect for that steak to be better than what I'm saying.
Yeah, better than
but 99 out of 99 times, for the normal cook, doing it my way is better.
I get it.
That's one where I'm not going to die in the hill for like the most optimal, because in order to do that, you need to like pre-salt to do the one that the chefs do. You have to pre-salt your steak. Your steak has to be sitting at room temp for like 3, like there's like all these things that have to hit, and you have to like perfectly time it on the grill. And like move,
Oh yeah. By the way, that's the thing that I believe in.
What?
And like it bothers me.
What?
I wish I could start all my meat cooking with the meat at room temperature. There's something about like starting the meat from fridge temperature or even frozen that like, I don't, something about it. It doesn't feel right. It feels like the balance or something gets fucked up from that. Yeah.
Well, it's true because it's not gonna cook. Yeah. So when I cook steak, the 1-inch steak or whatever, the normal steak, I do pre-salt the meat. So I have to plan a day in advance and salt it. When you salt it, if you don't salt it, that chunk of meat has a shit ton of water. So when you put it on the grill, it steams it.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But when you, it's like weird. Like I don't quite get it, but that's not associated with juiciness. The juiciness comes from fat. It's not from the water. So like when you salt it, it pulls the water out. So you're just left with like it's dry aging. It's like dry aged almost.
Right.
And when you hit it, it's just like,
Yeah.
just, right?
Yeah.
So, but in order to do that,
makes
you have
sense.
do it in advance. You salt it uncovered in the fridge to draw out the moisture. Then I take it out like 5 hours before I cook it and leave it on the counter.
So you do leave it on the counter for
Yeah.
a long time.
But
You leave it on
even
the
that,
counter.
I don't trust myself to perfectly nail it in one flip. So I just constantly do that. And then I use a meat thermometer.
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
So no. So
I hate that.
no,
hate
so
that
meat
concept.
thermometer. So
Yeah.
well, what like so to me, like the whole like medium rare, like everyone's thumb distance is different. Everyone like it's just dumb. There's no reason to. Why do you hate the meat thermometer?
Just the fact that that's a thing. No, you know why? Because cooking chicken, to cook great chicken, I think you do need to monitor the temperature. And it's just like this.
Wait, okay. Why does a meat thermometer trigger you for steak?
It triggers me for chicken, not steak. So actually, I want to talk to you about chicken.
Okay.
Chicken is like an interesting topic.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
this is like chicken is the.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out chicken.
Yeah, because so many marination strategies for chicken, I think are like like this bullshit. I don't think there's an answer, and that ain't it.
Okay.
Like, oh, you gotta marinate it like this, or you gotta marinate it like that. Like, I don't know. I haven't felt the power from any of these. I haven't felt the power. Like, oh, if you just marinate it overnight with this, and it's gonna end up delicious. I never experienced that yet. Chicken chicken. I feel like is literally just about. I mean, we talked about this. Remember, we had that crazy autistic conversation about chicken, like we're going too far versus whatever. But I still believe in that. It's like I do believe chicken is like this thing where like it's more about like just hit that optimal temperature and then like you can't overcook it, but you can't undercook it, and then you just have to like. I mean, you can't quote unquote undercook it because of safety reasons, and you can't overcook it because then it becomes too chewy. So it's like you have to just be very meticulous about hitting that optimal path where the chicken's still juicy, but it's like safe to eat.
What it is no the autistic part of it was it's not until all the bacteria is killed, because you still need to cook a little more for it to. There's a point where all the bacteria is killed, but it still tastes very
still not
gelatinous.
Still not cooked enough.
But there's a taste level where maybe like 5 degrees above.
Yeah, above all
where
the
it's
bacteria is
killed,
killed.
yeah.
That's ironic though, because I think last time you explained to me that actually the concept is like you can cook it less than you think you have to.
Yeah, so what that one was about, this is when all the bacteria, it's fine to eat it here. This is when it tastes best. This is what the FDA says.
So they put it way too high.
No. So what they put is when the chicken is this temp, 0 seconds after the heat dissipates, at that temp, it's like bombing, it's nuking the chicken of all things. But when you cook it to like the optimal place, when you take it off the grill, the bacteria is still there. But after 30 seconds or after a time, it kills. But it's this is incorrect data, but 160 bacteria can survive for 0 seconds at 165, but bacteria can survive for 20 seconds at 145. So you just leave it at 145 for 20 seconds and then it's dead. So the optimal, yeah. So that's
okay,
chicken.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that was very clear. I wish it was this clear last time we talked about this. That was very clear. I get it.
We were high.
I perfectly get it.
That was when we were high.
I perfectly get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And like another thing about like it's about a marination to me. It's really it comes down to this concept of marination.
Okay. You think it's stupid?
Like how do I put this?
What bothers you about marination? You just don't get it.
Okay. I'm gonna remove the word marination, and then I'm gonna add the word sauce.
Okay.
Okay. A 5 out of 10 quality meat cooked at 7 out of 10 level of cooking with a 9 out of 10 sauce, to me tastes way better than an 8 out of 10 quality meat that's cooked really well. But with no sauce. Now obviously the corollary is they both offer different experiences, right? If I'm gonna enjoy an 8 out of 10 quality steak just with salt and pepper, I'm enjoying the
8 out of 10 steak at salt
the
and pepper.
steak experience, rather than if I eat a shitty steak that's cooked reasonably well with a great sauce, and it's like I'm eating that. Like they're just different entities.
So this is how I view that. It's sauce and precision cooking of shitty meat is the history of mankind. We don't have good meat that's very tough and not the good part of the meat. So how do we make this bomb? And then that's how the greatest cooking of all time was invented, which is like barbecue.
But that's so like
That's barbecue.
So for millenniums of years, humans perfected how to make shitty meat taste good.
Yes. Yeah.
And then now like we have good meat, and it's like it doesn't taste as good as the shitty meat that we perfected for 2,000 years to make it taste good.
No, so it's kind of like good meat. It's this. The techniques you use to make shitty meat taste amazing, it doesn't work for good meat. So if you were to take like a Kobe beef steak and then barbecue it with a spice rub for 20 hours, it would literally just like it just becomes like water.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because it's all about like making shitty meat try to taste.
It's
feel like better quality.
No, it's what it is that's optimized for shitty meat. So if you use like barbecue techniques, 16 hours low and slow on like a Kobe. So Kobe beef, you look
melt.
at it, it's just like you're just drinking fat.
You're just getting fat. Yeah.
But
exactly.
to make Kobe meat, you have to cook it like right. You know,
Yeah.
that's what that is.
Have you tried like super fatty? I feel like super fatty meat is overrated. I never tried it, but I don't. When I look at it, I'm like, that just looks like you're just eating fat. Like you're just eating scoops of fat. I don't really buy it. I think it's just like
okay.
It's
Well,
like rare.
can you tell the difference between very expensive sushi tuna and it's like that?
Okay, yeah, all right.
Fatty tuna is literally it's like
it's just fatty.
It's fat. It's just
fatty.
right.
Yeah.
But what's cool about that is it's not cooked, so it's like raw.
It's like fair enough.
But to me, it's the same question of like why I would sometimes rather have an In-N-Out burger than like whatever.
Yeah, than a steak.
Go to whatever Mastro's and have a steak.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd rather have an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
But to me, this is steak. Steak to me is very ancestral and communal. And so steak is not meant for, if it's 5 people, for everyone to have a half pound ribeye steak. What's supposed to be is you need to have like a 3-pound steak in the center.
Yeah.
And then you need to have like a potato salad and like a bottle of wine, and then you like eat from the steak together.
That's cool.
That's steak. This whole thing, like, you know, and then I used to be a person that judged people for, you know, I went through a phase where it's like, yeah, you just steak, you know, I did that too. I'm guilty of that too. But like now my thing is like, yeah, if you want doenjang, do it. If you want horseradish, get it. If you want to dip it in butter, dip it. Like I don't like, and to me it's almost like I've experimented going the other way, using like you know, I'll take like very expensive meat and then marinate like carby. And then, well, even carby is expensive meat, but like, and do it, and it's not it's like not necessary. It just it's past my level of taste. Like this is like, I can't tell the difference between baller steak marinated like carby and cheaper steak marinated like carby. Yeah, I don't know. Or like sometimes it's the same thing. Like if you go to in K-Town, Kirmok, I'm talking about, right? They have like raw, like meat that you don't season and you cook and dip it in chamgiram, and then you have 동치미 국수. I don't go there for meat. I go there for 동치미 국수, which is in the food scale like fucking trash, cheap, but that tastes way better. I'm eating meat as an excuse to eat 동치미 국수. So that's my thought.
You know what's funny? You know, literally my favorite type of meat is cheddar.
Yeah. So
Like I should just have pounds of cheddar, but I don't want to cook it every day. That's the problem. But
chador.
I think
Why
it's-
do you like it?
I just think it's because it's thin and the consistency and the chewing is very nice, and you could just shove a bunch of it in your mouth and it's just
No, the reason why you
Nice.
like it is because the effort to taste ratio is good.
no, that's not true. That's not true. Because cheddar bacon is the highest level of effort that I have to
Why?
go through. Because I have to drive to K-Town and I have to have a reason to eat
No,
it.
no, no,
And I
no,
have
no,
to,
no,
like,
no.
you know what I mean? Otherwise,
Cooking chador. Okay, if you have a
Whatever, you get
chador
you get my
steak
point.
in the freezer,
You get my point.
I know, but if you have
You
it
get my
for
point.
cooking,
Yeah.
if you have a chador steak, if you have a chador slice in the freezer and you have ribeye wagyu in the freezer,
Yeah.
chador is way
Of course.
easier.
Yeah, and I think it tastes better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
it's you can't fuck it up
I think
because
cheddar bacon is amazing.
it's almost like you need to
God
just
tier.
literally throw it on it and take it off. Like that's why it's
I know it's just God tier. I don't care how much
It's-
it's
it's-
undercooked or
you know-
overcooked.
you know what
it
I'm talking
tastes
about
good
the-
no matter what.
it's like about the inch, and I was like overcooked, right?
Yeah.
Chador is the overcook and undercook is the same
yeah.
layer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like one side is overcooked
Yeah,
and one it's you just eat it.
yeah. No, it's God.
So it's cut.
No, I honestly think it's like the ultimate. Like it's just God tier.
Yeah,
Brisket? Is that brisket?
it's brisket. Yeah, yeah. So brisket. Yeah, the Ricewood guys in Ann Arbor, the food truck, does brisket. Yeah, literally, when they start, it's literally someone has to come at like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. and start the fire and then go, and then just cook it low and slow until like 12.
Hmm.
It's crazy, dude. To get that texture.
Like that's one of my concepts. So on a very primal level, I talked to you about this a lot before, but like, why does finely chopped stuff taste better than shittily chopped stuff, and why does shittily chopped stuff taste better than whole pieces of stuff, right?
Surface area.
Okay, yeah. So you said surface area, right?
Mhm.
But for me, it's a spiritual thing, right? It's a spiritual matter of like the energy investment of cutting the thing into tiny pieces is converting into flavor, right? Well, I mean, yeah, which is surface area. Okay, whatever. You get my point. It's a spiritual thing. It's like because that's how I feel about smoothies, right?
Okay.
Smoothies is all about like having this device that does a ridiculous level of manual labor, spiritual energy for you.
Versus just eating the.
Yeah, like chopping the fruit and spinach into 1,000, literally like 1,000 pieces with like virtually no effort on your part. But from a God perspective, the energy level that is required to chop that spinach into 1,000 tiny pieces is like crazy. So therefore,
Tastes so good.
yeah, you're rewarded for that energy. Input.
But the God tier is it's not as nutritious.
Yeah, it's not. That's true because the insoluble fiber gets fucked up. But whatever. You get generally speaking, like this is like how I feel about that whole concept. I guess you could say that for everything, right? Like I must make sure that the steak a day ahead
No.
is properly
This
dry
is the
aged.
same thing as my marinara sauce.
It's like
The same thing as my pasta.
Yeah,
Literally, it's like 50 steps.
yeah. So it's all like I don't know. Maybe it's just all energy input, and you can't cheat. You can't. It's hard to. It's very hard to cheat.
I think the thing is the thing you can't. So, the other skill with cooking is knowing where to put your money. So for me, it's, you know what, buying canned tomato sauce and having olive oil and garlic saves you 50% cost off of like buying jarred sauce. But you need to buy like really good like bronze cut from Italy pasta that's not processed as it's processed but with less like preservatives. And then you cannot use like Kraft Parmesan. You need to buy, and not even like Parmesan made in America. You need to get like Parmigiano Reggiano, like DOP, whatever, like all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? And then just always have a block. And the block costs like, for like this much, costs like $12. But then like a craft thing costs like $3. But for me, this thing literally will last you like 40 pasta, like I don't know, 15 pastas, and it won't rot because it's fermented. So for me, buying a $12 block of Parmesan cheese with really good quality pasta, dry pasta, and then you use canned unprocessed, which it's like you literally have like 3 more steps. It's add olive oil, add garlic, and then versus throw the pasta in. But then if you balance out the where you put your dollar, it makes it like way better.
So spaghetti sauce is really just crushed tomatoes and then like some
Olive oil.
garlic, olive oil.
And I don't even put onion in my sauce. You don't even need onion. It's just garlic. It's very simple. It's spicy garlic oil in which you cook crushed tomatoes, and then you salt, and then seasoning. So the game of better cooking is if you can taste something and then know what's seasoning and how much seasoning to put in. That's really the game. When someone says in a recipe season to taste, it means that the base of your flavor is created and you just have to determine how much salt to put in. And so you literally, when I first started cooking, I would start with ingredients and then I would taste it. And then I would put like
A little bit
of salt, taste it.
again,
A little bit, taste it.
Yeah.
Now I can just grab salt and put it in and
Yeah.
I taste it and it's like 85 and then I put a little more.
I see. Yeah, I wouldn't even judge my own flavor profile in the micro technique of like slowly doing it up. Like I wouldn't trust myself.
You just put a little salt in and it'll probably be under seasoned and you're fine. You know? For me, it's like I'm gonna put in salt water. So like it's just like very like I'm like always like tasting the thing. And then I guess great people like my, Jess's mom or like people who've been cooking for a long time, they just end up knowing.
No, well, what I'm saying is, aren't you worried that if you try tasting it too much, then your taste buds will not calibrate correctly because you're microing it too much? No.
My point of that was, in the past, it took me like 12 tastes to get it, but now it takes me like 2 tastes to get it because I know like I can trust that this is not going to over season when I put this in.
How do you deal with dishes that require specific ingredients that will expire fast, and then you just use a little bit for that dish, and then you throw everything else away?
So, it's so funny. I just had this conversation the other day. You sort of have to commit to cooking every day, and then that doesn't become an issue. So what ends up happening is, okay, I'm gonna make meat pasta, bolognese sauce. Okay, if you have bolognese sauce, you need to buy carrots, onions, celery. You need to have in your pantry bay leaf, whatever, all this stuff. You need to have cream. You need to have, tomato, whatever, paste, like all this stuff. Wine, white wine, that of which you only use a half a cup. And then cream, you buy a pint, but you only use like half of it. So you make bolognese. And then out of bolognese, you're going to be left with like half a cup of cream, half bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Right? All this stuff.
Yeah, all the random shit.
Right. Okay. Then what's going to happen is that cream's going to expire in like 2 weeks. So you have like a shelf life to it. Most likely in the next week, I'm going to have a pasta that is not as labor intensive as bolognese, which takes 4 hours to make. And I'm going to make a vodka sauce, which is tomato. You just need, I'm going to have tomato paste left over. I'm going to have garlic left over. And I have cream. And I'm going to have, I probably have a vodka that I drink.
Oh, by the way, I got to, I figured out what petting is.
Petting cats?
Like petting animals in general.
Okay.
It's not that like this action makes them feel good or whatever. Mark is wrong. That's not what it is.
Okay.
It's a
dominance thing?
It's a ritual of scent Smell sharing. That's all it
okay.
is. Okay, anyway, continue. So you have
So
leftover
so
half
so
a half a cream can.
yeah,
and,
right,
like,
right, right, right. So
whatever.
the baseline is what can I make that requires the same thing but is like a simpler that uses less ingredients. So vodka sauce is that. Level ingredients for bolognese is like this. Vodka's like this. So if I but I don't want to have pasta 2 days in a row, but it won't expire. So that's that. Now, most likely to buy it, I bought a bag of onions. All right, and I
Oh.
only used 2. So the next day I want to have kimchi. I want to have Korean. I don't want Italian. I have Korean. So I bought like kimchi. I bought 새우젓. I bought like mu, whatever, right? And let's say in the pasta I put sausage, right? So then the next day I could go and buy like pork, like actual pork, but what I'll do is I'll have leftover sausage from the meat sauce, and then I'll use normally you use pork, but instead I'll put sausage, and then I figured out a way to like use the sausage out.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have bought kimchi to make the kimchi jjigae. So then I'm not gonna have it on the next day, but like 3 days later, I'm gonna take the kimchi and I'm gonna have rice instead of pasta. And I'm gonna make kimchi bokkeumbap with the onions that I bought from the whatever. And then it kind of, that's how it works. And then maybe for when I had a steak, I bought a bag of potatoes and made potato salad, but then I have leftover pork shank from something else, so I'll make kamjatang. So it only starts to work when you cook every day and you cook something different every day. Is when it starts to.
Yeah, that's not a sufficient answer. Yeah.
Wait, okay. What is not sufficient about that?
Because it just means you have to cook every day, and every day you have to figure out how to fucking use your.
Well, okay. Another layer you have to factor you have to layer in is fresh stuff. I don't buy a lot of. I told you this, right? It's like I have like staples, and then that day I'll go to the market and buy like 1 green onion. That's all I need to finish the dish. It's almost becomes to this equilibrium where your fridge is like stocked with like every possible ingredient that's all fresh, and at any time you can cook what you want. It is what ends up happening.